Yesterday we worked on translating sentences into equations and vice versa, and now we're going to be solving the equations. Okay, we've seen some of this before, some of it was on your last test. Now we're going to get more in depth with it. Okay, so solving equations using addition and subtraction, and solving equations using multiplication and division. Here we want to solve for A. So when it says solve for A, what is our ultimate goal?
Solve for A. Figure out what.
What does it mean? Figure out what A is, and that means get A by itself. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite so I got some more room. So we want to get A by itself. Right now, what is the relationship between A and 24?
Not like backwards.
What's happening? They're not like terms, but they're subtracting each other. So we want to do the opposite to get A by itself. What's the opposite of subtract? Addition. So we're going to add 24 on both sides. That causes these to cancel out. What is 16 plus 24? 40. So our answer, A is by itself, so we're done. Alright, go ahead and try this one on your own. Alright, on this one, what is the relationship between 129 and K?
They're adding.
They're adding, so what do we need to do? Subtract 129 from both sides. What is negative 42 minus 129? Positive or negative? Negative.
What?
Negative. Should be negative. Negative 171. Now, we're looking at a different relationship. What is happening between negative 14 and C? They're right next to each other, so they're multiplying. So, what's the opposite of multiply? Divide. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 14. What is 32 divided by negative 14? Huh?
3.
What is it?
Negative 2.
Is it negative 2 and 2 sevens?
I got 2.
Okay. So their relationship at the beginning was multiply. To get C by itself, we got to do the opposite, so that's why we divided. Here it says water flows through a hose at a rate of 5 gallons per minute. How many hours will it take to fill a 2,400-gallon swimming pool? So we need to set up an equation. What did I say the word per meant?
Divide. It's like
Multiplying, okay? So it's 5 gallons per every minute. So depending on how many minutes we had, we would plug it in and multiply by 5. It wants to know how many hours it will take to do 2,400. So we just set that equal to 2,400. Per means multiply. Yep, now they're multiplying. 5 and X are multiplying, so the opposite would be to divide. Yep. What's 2,400 divided by 5?
60.
What? Is it 16?
48. 480. I'll go.
16?
Oh, it's like how many hours?
So 480 minutes. So that's in minutes. Now we have to do what?
Divide it again by 60.
Why do you divide by 60?
It says 60 seconds in a minute.
And then 60 minutes in 1 hour. So we need to divide this by 60. What do you get?
8.
8. Good catch. Now we're going to have more than one step. So we just did single step equations. Now we're going to do multi-step. So mixing it a little bit. We have 6v plus 7 equals negative 5. We want to get v by itself. What would our first step be to get v by itself?
Subtract 12 or 7.
Yes, we need to subtract 7 first, okay? Whatever, if it's connected to v, we want to do everything that's not connected first. So, subtract 7 on both sides. So you have 6v equals negative 12, and then our last step would be to?
It's A.
It would be to divide, right?
Yeah.
So we have v equals negative 2, which in fact is a. Yep. Whoa. Let's talk about this one. So, fractions. Whenever you see a fraction, you want to try and get rid of it first. How can we get rid of that fraction?
Times negative
Multiply by -6. If we multiply by -6 on both sides, that eliminates the denominator. So then we're just left with the top. What is 12 times -6? It's -72. Yep. Now, how can I rewrite this? We see two negatives right here.
Yeah.
Let's turn those into a positive. So we have -4j plus 4 equals -72. Now we got to work to get j by itself. What's our first step? What's our first step? We got to get rid of that 4 first. Subtract by 4 on both sides. What is -72 minus 4? -76, and our last step would be to divide by -4. Sorry, I got off a little bit. What is -76 divided by -4? Is it 19? Are you guessing, or is it 19?
I called it.
Is it 19? All right. So if you ever see a fraction, how do you get rid of the fraction?
Multiply the denominator.
Multiply by the denominator. Yep, what's on the bottom. How did we get rid of the denominator here? Good. Here it says 3/4 of the difference of a number and 7 is -15. We need to set up an equation. 3/4, how do I write that? 3/4 of the difference. Of means multiply. Of the difference, so we need to multiply by the difference of a number. I'm going to use x and 7. Difference means subtract, yeah? And then it says is -15. What does is mean? Equals -15. Yep. How do we solve this? We can distribute first. What's 3/4 x times?
3/4x.
Yep. 3/4 x. How do you multiply those?
On a calculator.
You put the 7 over on one.
Yep, 7 over 1. So what's 7 times 3? 21. 4 times 1 is? 4. Now let me show you a little trick. What do we notice about those two fractions?
They have like denominators.
Same denominator. How do we normally get rid of fractions? How did we get rid of fractions on that last slide? We multiplied by that denominator. So since they have the same denominator, we're going to multiply every term by 4. Multiply every term by 4, because watch what happens. Here, they go away, so you're just left with 3x. Are you following? Here, they go away, so what are you left with?
That's 84.
21. And then -15 times 4 is what? What is it?
Is 64.
So you get -60, right?
Yeah.
All right, now it looks like something we've seen before. What's our first step to get x by itself? Not subtract. Add. Yep, it's already subtracting, so we need to do the opposite. What is -60 plus 21?
39.
It is -39. Then what's our last step to get x by itself? Divide by 3. Bless you. So we get x equals -13. Okay, some problems can get pretty lengthy. Okay, write out all those steps. Let's talk about consecutive integers real fast. What does consecutive mean? One after the other in a row. Okay, so give me an example of consecutive integers.
-2, -1.
1, 2, 3, right? Just regular numbers. What did you say? Yep, you can have that. What about consecutive even integers? First of all, what's even mean?
It's able to be split in half equally.
What what numbers count it as an even number? 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, or 0. Okay, so give me 3 consecutive even integers.
2, 4, 6, 8.
2, 4, 6, blah, 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 blah. Yeah? Odd integers, what makes something an odd number?
Can't be divided.
Can't be divided. What do they end in? 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So those would be our consecutive odd integers. Yeah. Okay. We want to find 3 consecutive even integers whose sum is 84. Are all of these, let's go through A, are those consecutive even integers?
Yeah.
Yes, so that's a possibility. What about this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, what about here?
Yeah.
Yes. Zero is an even number.
But is it consecutive?
Oh no.
No, because this, right? What about this one? Are those consecutive? No, so we need to decide these added together what they equal. Go ahead and do that. All right, what'd you get for the first one? What do they equal?
Oh,
They equal 90. What did the second ones equal?
84.
It is 84. So our answer would be B. Any questions over what we just went over today? All right.